How is she anyway? Is she watching? That's the other
No,
thing I forgot to ask. Okay, cool.
no.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, I've got to take this. Hello, are you outside?
Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Yep. It's all right. No. All right, man. Monday-ish or whenever. All right, buddy. Thanks. Bye, bye, bye. Wow, that was a work call. Good stuff.
Did I get you in trouble?
No, you did not get me in trouble. It was the printer telling me, "Oh, Cole's here." Vans. This is like Mr. Still's interview all over again. He's on his own show.
Except Tony needs to call me because Jack's the one on the call.
Yeah, that's it. Right, so yeah, like I said, I don't want to upset you because you're still recovering. So we'll try and ease into it. I've got lube.
Show me proof.
Well, oh no, it means going in the drawer, and then people will know about the drawer, the delinquent drawer, just on lunch break. But there is. I bought a thing of lube. It's unopened, and I held it up for him to make him laugh, and then I threw it back in the delinquent drawer. Right. So at times, me and him have obviously me and my friend Andy. We've been friends for ages. Break a leg. Hello, Big Clive family. Me and Andy RC have been friends for a very long time, and we make we both have mental health issues, but at times we shut up, Cole. At times we will make light of our mental health issues, and that's our. Is it fair to say that's our coping mechanism?
Yeah. We probably say things just to make each other laugh that might not make other people laugh, but it does between us two, which is what worried me about doing this, because I kind of thought, me and Jack have so many things that we talk about that if you just casually listened in, you would either be horrified or not understand any of it.
Yeah. But, me and you have got a very dark sense of humours.
Yes.
Sort of weird sense of humour, because we both, like, what made me bond to you very well is you're a depressed little emo bitch like me, and
emo.
Yeah, we if you hear crawling in my skin, it's our way of being.
Sometimes I pick the phone up and Jack's singing it. It doesn't say hello, it's just singing, crawling in my skin downtown, and that's when I know he's having a bad day.
Hey, audio geek. Yeah, I do have very bad days, and like, you know, we don't, obviously we're not mocking it because we both have it, and I found a very close bond with Andy RC. Guys, if you want to ask Andy RC any questions that are not about mental health, get them in at the beginning of the show.
Ask me anything. AMA, I don't care.
Oh my god, that's dangerous, my friend. Have you had sex with any animals that are not human?
No. Next question.
Oh, yawn. Have you ever wanked off a horse and gone, "I'm a farmer"?
No, I've just watched someone do it.
Because I'd love to be able to get away with that, and then send it to you, and that's it.
It's that stuff like that people won't understand, Jack.
Yeah, no, that's Tom Green did it. Least favorite FPV YouTuber.
I'm not gonna name names. I tell you, just the people. I think you can tell when people aren't having fun doing what they're doing, and there are people who, it's usually people who are always throwing a product, and that's all that they do, you know. And it's always like, great, it's the best product in the world, and it's not. So I'm sure you could work out who those people are yourself. But people, I love so many YouTubers though. That would be a good one. I mean, Painless 360, Stu from UAV Futures. He also has been suffering with depression, and quite surprising that one, I think, with Stu. And so connected with him. Josh, obviously, loads of people. But yeah, I don't know. The way that I the way that I see it as well is to try and not. I think even if you dislike somebody, you can learn stuff from them. I never have like a really like bad grudge. I've talked to you, Jack, as well. I think I don't mind admitting at first when like another YouTube channel does something similar to what you do. It's the first mistake to make is getting jealous of them, because I definitely done that for sure. Definitely got jealous of other YouTubers, and then I realized, hang on, you shouldn't. You should like, it's like Lee. He's got like an incredible number of subscribers, but you can like, there's so much to learn from somebody that's successful. And I think the same with UAV Futures as well. I think a lot of people get jealous of him, and I just try and learn from everybody. So I don't really dislike. I haven't got a least favorite FPV YouTuber.
Yeah, believe it or not, it is NJ, because Andy's really jealous of how well he plays guitar.
But there you go. You see, I am jealous of NJ, and we hang out all the time. I'm always trying to learn from NJ.
Hey, numbskull. Right. So you're. Do you want to go? Do you want to go there now, or do you want to talk about other stuff? Or
what, are we off somewhere? Where are we going?
I don't know. How's the toe?
How's the what?
Toe. How's your foot?
Oh yeah. I had a bad week this week. Yeah. Oh, you can be my toe therapy guy.
Yeah.
I broke my toe. I'm pretty sure it's broken because it's
like Ali G.
Yeah. You see that? Just not going to make sense to anybody. Yeah, I've broken my toe. I'm hoping that just strapping it to another toe, I can walk on it, and as long as I have painkillers and put stuff on it, it's fine. And apparently there's not much you should only do stuff with a broken toe if it's pointing the wrong direction while it's not doing that. So it's just very painful, very broken and bruised. Yeah, but anyways, that's fine. Andy, how did you get companies to send you stuff? I'm just gone into let's thrown out mode here, haven't I? You carry on, Jack.
I knew you'd go. That's the problem. So my biggest problem with Andy RC is that when he doesn't read the brief and then just goes off on one. Like, I've been tempted to have like a little Andy RC shot collar, and when he starts and like zap him like the little fence for Phil.
I stopped myself, Jack. This is your show. You deal with the chat. You deal with
disclaimer.
Everything. No disclaimer needed for this one.
Yeah, any views that are not shared by the host and are personal, please don't sue us. Andy RC is a wrong one, but I love him for that. Clinton Robin, hey, how are you, buddy?
What you're basically saying is I'm the most immature of all of your friends. That's what you're saying.
That's why I love you so much.
That's fine.
Andy, I'm moving from Viper XT goggles to Sky Zone 02. Any advice?
FXT. Went the Viper FXT the box goggles to Sky Zone 02C. Any advice? I guess the first thing I would say is it's. You have to remember that when you're moving from, I'm sure the FXT is, I should know this.
I'm searching Google. Yeah,
when moving from box goggles to what I call compact goggles, or the Sky Zones, the first thing the thing that shocked me was how much smaller the screen was. And I was like, I didn't understand it at first. So, but what that I then realized was when you're moving to Sky Zones, you are sacrificing the big image for how light they are on your head and how convenient they are. So it's not necessarily a better viewing experience. You know, like the first time I ever looked through a pair of Fat Sharks, I thought I'd been sent like, you know, you get a lot of copies from China, and that the first thing I thought was, is this a copy I've been sent? Little postage stamp size compared to big cinema screens. So that's the only thing I would say be ready for. However, you know, you put up with it. It's worth putting up with for the convenience, because I get a bad neck with big. I even get a bad neck with the new, not new, but the DJI goggles, because they're so heavy. Struggling with that.
Yeah. Try them. If you don't get on with them, you know, then just use what works for you.
Yeah, you can always sell them.
You know, like if you got used to the box goggles and you love the box goggles, just fly the box goggles, and then modify the box goggles to do what you want to do.
Is Andrew / Frank? Is Andrew still flying box goggles? Because I know he got Fat Sharks, but he really struggled. That's the other thing, isn't it, as well? I mean, the compact goggles, a lot of people have trouble with the IPD adjustment, because if you've got wonky eyes like me, then sometimes they don't go wide enough. So that's another thing to watch out for if you've never tried them.
Yeah, I've literally got what I like to call is cow vision. My eyes are so far apart, they might as well be on the side of my head.
I'm the same. Yeah, mine's like, I have to max every pair of goggles out.
Speaking of which, have you managed to catch the bulls fucking each other yet?
No, I nearly did. And what's funny is the time that I nearly did it was like, there was about 4 or 5 people there, and everyone's like, what is he doing? And I'm like, just pointing my camera at these bulls, and I'm going, just like whispering, come on, fuck each other.
Out of convenience, I use the Fat Sharks. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, out of convenience. So you still get wonky vision. Yeah, I've done that before with a pair of goggles, just for the convenience, for sure.
All right. So this year has been particularly difficult for you, and you've been in recovery. You're really brave.
I'm not sure that's the right word. Oh, okay. Brave for the video.
Strong, you know. And you put up a video saying you were unwell, and I was really surprised you did that. But I'm very proud of you. I'm glad you're still here. And you know, like I'm really proud of like the progress you're making, and I understand how difficult it's been. And a big massive shout out to Phil, because like Phil's been like supporting you and been going out, and you've been trying to like build a routine and stuff, and you know, you've moved away from like the reviews, and you've been doing daily vlogs. How's that been?
Yeah, I mean, well, like you say, Phil, and yourself as well, Jack, because Jack, you know, Jack would ring me every single day, and you know, I mean, I don't know how far back you want to go, like if you want me to because I never really explained it on any of the videos, like what happened and that. Yeah, we can go through that, man.
And he actually ordered pizza, but he wasn't home. Let's put it like that.
I did what?
You ordered a pizza and you wasn't home.
Ordered pizza and I wasn't home? I'm not sure I get what you mean there.
It's nonsense.
Oh, okay. Right. So yeah, when at the start of the year, when like all this COVID, I mean the COVID stuff started affecting me way before lockdown, because obviously a lot of the drone stuff and the quad and the technology comes from China. So there was definitely a lack of that coming from, because they went into lockdown maybe January or whatever. So there was a lack of products, and just and I don't know if that had a lack of interest in the hobby, but it was definitely a lull in January. So wasn't feeling great in January, and then when lockdown came in here in March, I think like when it comes to making YouTube, the easiest way to make a video is like the most pleasurable way, and just as it sort of lockdown came in, it started getting really difficult to enjoy making videos. Is what I didn't realize that was the problem at the time, but I wasn't enjoying making videos because when the lockdown came in, you were allowed outside for 1 hour for exercise, and the field outside, I've flown on there 25 years, something like that, you know. So I'm not people, you know, we're a nice community here. But when we went into lockdown, there were they started cutting these lines in the grass for like social distancing lines, and as people were working from home and doing their 1 hour of exercise a day, that field was just constantly full of people either walking dogs or families, because yeah, as we all know, we had fantastic weather when lockdown was announced. So I can remember me going out there with my spotter, and we were out there for a good hour just trying to get a 5-minute slot where I could just have a fly. And it was just stressful, man. It was just great. It was impossible. See, at that point as well, I'd been going out once a week to an indoor flying club I'd become a member of. And I didn't realize how important that was, just getting away from everything and doing stuff for fun. Like, it didn't really matter. It could be away from YouTube, just flying for fun, basically. So when I had that taken away, because obviously it's at a school and all schools closed down, and then it was really difficult to go outside and just fly, not even fly for fun. I started really struggling with my mood, first of all, like, you know, getting motivated to do anything, but then sleep was the biggest problem. Now, at the time, I was still doing LDO, Let's Drone Out, the show that, you know, we do together. You remember the claps on the Thursday. And then just one night after LDO, I didn't sleep all night. And then from that point on, for about 2 months, I never slept. Most I was sleeping was like 2 hours a week. And I thought, like, oh, this is going to pass, you know, you're going to. And the other problem was, like, I wanted to ring the doctors for help because I've had this before. And obviously, there's no doctors there at the start. Luckily, then they started accepting stuff over the phone and stuff.
Which was easier for you because you had the thing where you were meant to have a repeat prescription,
yeah,
and they didn't, and you hate going there.
yeah. So yeah, it was a good 2 months. You know, not leaving the house, not able to leave the house, just because you know, the not being able to sleep was just crippling. Couldn't drive. Even making food was difficult. So I lost nearly 2 stone in the time as well. So not to get too deep into it, but that basically what happened. And then, you know, if you want to talk about the recovery side of it, was just basically going to the doctors and, you know, just telling all my friends. I've been through this before. This isn't the first time. I went through it in 2014 and 2015 when a friend passed away at work. It's actually the reason why the RC channel started, actually, was an escape from anxiety and that.
Because that was kind of mad times. You made some really good friends there, and then that changed your whole perspective of life.
Oh, it did, yeah. That actually answers one of the questions, like, how do you get free stuff? Which seems like an odd way to answer it.
Yeah.
But so I used to work for an investment bank. I've worked there 14 years doing forex trading, so foreign exchange for corporate companies. Very stressful job. Yeah, and this would have been around 2014. That was the first time, like, I started struggling to sleep at night. You know, people say, oh, those bankers, how can they sleep at night? Well, this one couldn't. It was just a ridiculously stressful job. And yeah, again, didn't sleep. I didn't sleep for months and had to be signed off from work from it. And then in that time I was signed off from work, they got in a lad to help me because they realized, oh, his job's really stressful. In fact, it wasn't just me going off with stress, anxiety, it was everybody. So when I came back, there was this chap named Phil, not my friend Phil, but Phil. They got someone in to help me as an assistant to my job, if you will. And we had to work bank holidays because foreign exchange, there's no bank holidays basically, because the bank holidays are specific to that country. So like UK bank holidays are different from US bank holidays, etc. So we had to work all bank holidays despite working in a bank, which we always thought was unfair. But yeah, we came into this one bank holiday. Oh man, this is going to get really depressing.
No, fine. We're all here.
People want to know about the jumper transmitters, and I'm talking about depression.
No, this is what I want to talk about. I don't care. No offense, guys. This is me and you. Like, you know, I've still at one point, I don't know whether it's with you or anyone, but I still need to talk about the cat litter and, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And it's fine. It's fine. You're in a way, you're less fucked up than me.
I'm
not sure right now.
So anyways, yeah, we're going to work on this bank holiday Monday. Yeah, it's actually, it's a good segue to how my this is why the Andy RC channel started. It's depressing, but it's if you want to know how to get free stuff, this is how it happened. So I walked in the bank on bank holiday Monday. It was I think it was the 4th of April, the date, because it just sticks in your head.
The date, that's
of course I do. Yeah. So my friend Phil was walking with another one of my friends named Jason. We were sort of saying, oh, how was your weekend? You know, because it was Monday. And he's like, oh, okay, but you know, just been feeling a bit faint. And then they got into the reception, and he just collapsed on the floor. And my friend Jason really quickly got one of the first aiders. Luckily, well, on a bank holiday, even though we're like skeleton staff, they have first aiders. And I wasn't there yet when this happened, actually. I was driving up when the ambulance turned up and saw them trying to resuscitate him. But anyway, sadly, he didn't make it. And, you know, it was horrendous because I got to know this guy really well. You know, we become good friends. We sort of chatted outside of work, even though we'd only known each other. Like I'd only been back 2 months, and yeah, so he unfortunately passed away at work. We were told about an hour later, and we all went home. And my anxiety and whatever you want to call it, just exploded. This saddens me, but it was like a week later was his funeral, and I was just so worked up I couldn't go to the funeral. I was so sick, I couldn't get out of bed. I hadn't slept again, and it was back to the drawing board really. But Phil was the same age as me, like to almost the month, and that's where I said, you know, we're talking like nearly 30 or whatever. And I was like, oh man, you know, I was always pretty decent with money, like savings. I had savings and stuff. But I was like, man, if you're just gone the next day, what is the point in that, you know? And I was like, well, what's interesting me at the moment.
That's how Andy developed a coke and whores problem.
you have to like, well, technically, I mean, I would argue that that's cheaper than getting into drones, Jack.
It is, yeah. If you ever want to stop doing drugs, do RC instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what I did. I just bought a horrendous amount of, not ready. Yeah, the hubs. I bought the Hubs and Spyhawk first. No, actually, it was a little flybarless helicopter from Fixed Pitch Helicopters. I got those first because quads weren't really a thing. And I bought like the Hubs and Spyhawk, and I think that was my first review, about 2012, something like that. Then the Hubsan H107D, and I started with micros. Yeah, And then by the end of the first year, and I discovered Banggood as well, because back then that's all there was Banggood, AliExpress. I walked into my local hobby shop and said, do you have any FPV stuff? And they were like, what's FPV stuff? That's different now. Although my local hobby shop, you still walk in and it's like toy drones, you know, that you couldn't go in there and buy a set of T-motors or something like that, you know. No value for money lipos. Lipo versus line. Right. Andy's doing a coke joke again. Yeah, so I probably spent 20 grand the first year of buying stuff from Banggood, because it's horrendous. It might still be there, but on Banggood you can tot up how much you've spent in a year, and it said 20 grand, and that was a hard pill to swallow. So when people say, and what happened, of course, is I was buying all of this stuff, I wasn't making videos at first. I'd be on RC groups trying to show people mods that I'd done of stuff, and eventually it just became quicker to make a video than type out paragraphs. When you speak to Josh and people like that, they would say the same, really. And you get horrible people in forums as well that are just like, you know, not into what you're doing and try and put you down. And I was like, oh, they kind of do that on a YouTube video, but it's easier to ignore them because you're the thread starter with a video, if you will. So it started off just showing my modifications. I think it took me a year to get 500 subscribers, and then a bit longer to get 1,000. But then the year after, because there weren't many channels like this around, other than this was before Josh even existed, and all of the channels that are there now. So it was really just me, Lee, Flight Test, UAV Futures wasn't there. So it was really, people say like, why is this channel, you know, why is it so difficult to get a channel going? And the only thing I'll say is it's just that I was there first. If I was to start from scratch now, no chance, I don't think, you know. So how'd you get
right place, right time?
Yeah, so when I got to 1,000 subscribers, I started getting these emails, like, because back then they could send you a message, a direct message. Can't do that anymore. And they'd say like, oh, do you want to review our product and all of this business, you know? And then it went down that route, but it still hasn't paid me back for that. Well, 20 grand was the first year, and I've been doing this 6-7 years now. So it's still not paid me back. You don't get anything for free, is the answer. So there you go. Yeah, that's how the channel started, anyways.
I joke about you working for Fat Shark, but in fact you're Fat Shark's little bitch, because I was horrified that you have to pay for all of them, and then when you do sell them, you get F all back.
I like to think that I'm just non-biased, so if something's good, then I will, you know, say this is fantastic, you know. And I've had that with Fat Shark mainly because of their customer service. That's what's impressed me the most about Fat Shark's customer service. Is if you were to buy a set of Ionways, which, you know, still expensive, or Sky Zone or whatever, you know, Fat Shark's, you know, you could argue whether they should be going wrong or not. Whether that's the case, you send it straight to Dave, and within 3-4 days later, it's back working perfect. And
Dave.
I was like, that's unrivaled to me, and so that's why I always pick them. You could argue, oh, they haven't got the power button, they haven't got this, they haven't got the shape of the case has never changed, but one thing that stays the same is the customer service for me. So yeah, I just bigged them up so much that you know, it made people think that I work for them.
And then I edited a sound bite to say, hi, I'm Andy RC and I work for Fat Shark, and that probably didn't help.
It got to the point where I was, because I've had to buy every single one of my Fat Shark goggles. I've never received any free products from Fat Shark, but I've owned every single goggle since the Dominator SD, the blue ones, you know. And so it became, I just really stopped reviewing Fat Shark goggles, because everyone would just say, oh, he works for them, wouldn't listen to what he says, kind of thing, you know.
I'm very sorry.
But
It started out as a joke, and
hopefully when like I show things like when the cases were translucent, though I showed that, you know, and even then it was like, you know, oh, it looks like he's got the sack or whatever, you know. But nah, whatever's the best product, I will, you know, talk about it all day. You know, it's to the point where it can get annoying. It's like the DJI stuff at the moment is so good. I even get sick of myself telling. I try and not to. It's hard. It's really hard not to, though. You just got to be unbiased and not care if you know. I don't care. I'm never going to hear a Fat Shark or whoever. You just have to say the truth sometimes, you know. Some people are good and diplomatic and go, oh well, it's good, but it's actually shit, and say it really nicely. I can't do that.
lots of ergonomics. Frank's right. The only way to become a millionaire in innovation is to start as a billionaire.
Yeah.
And that's what with Andy RC.
I mean, I've heard other stories of people who. That's another thing that it's a thing that probably doesn't do me any favors. But I'm quite lazy, and I don't ask for products ever. If you ever see any products on my channel, it's because somebody reached out to me, and people do reach out for sure. I know that for a fact. But you know, it's just not fun. It's not fun. There are people who collect manufacturers on Facebook and just talk to them, and it doesn't interest me, man. I want to do stuff that's fun, which is why you've seen the vlogs now, because I always wanted to.
Let's talk about that. So, like, in RC, I remember when I first started, I was part of I was doing cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes.
And I was talking to a lovely person, and I was, you know, I was on the road to recovery, and I found that FPV kind of gave me, you know, I was really hyped about it, and it gave me like, you know, it was something to like, something to have a have a buzz around. How have you been recovering, and how does RC help with that?
Well, you know, the first time this happened when Phil passed away, it was the one thing, and I say this to a lot of people, because it's no, I don't think it's an accident that you find that a lot of people in the hobby gravitate towards it because they're trying to get a bit of escapism from either their own life or anxiety and depression themselves, which you'll find that's really, really common. And I think what's great about FPV or RC or flying is that when you're in the moment, you literally cannot be thinking about anything else. I mean, you might be shitting yourself that you're flying a quad at 500 mile an hour, whatever, but you are not thinking about, oh, you know, what I've got to go home to or what I've got to deal with. In that very moment, your concentration is put elsewhere. And I suppose if you don't suffer with anything like that, flying an FPV can seem quite daunting if you're quite relaxed in real life. But to me, it's like I've got all this anxiety like worked up, and it's like when you're flying, it's at least been directed to a place where you should be a little bit anxious. Maybe, you know, you've got this you know, almost a kilogram quad responsibility for you. So that's what it does for me. But I've been an RC since I was like 7-8 years old. You know, this FPV things is fairly new to me. So I've always used RC planes specifically as an escapism from, you know, the norm kind of thing. I think many people do as well. Sorry, you were asking, did we asking about the vlogs, or was that specifically about flying?
No,
Jack?
no, I just keep talking about it. Phil's been a real support.
Yeah, so I should talk about that. So there was a time in these, like, sorry, go on. You want to say something?
Number one, old Phil.
Your audio's gone funny, Jack. Have you? It's like skipping in and out. Have you changed mics?
No.
No.
And everyone, right? Or is it Andy RC?
It's like your audio is dipping and missing the start of words sometimes. Maybe it's
I don't know whether it is me. Hang on.
could be me talking over you. Is it?
I don't know. Hang on. Let me listen to the stream.
That seems all right. Oh, your audio is very weird, Jack. I'm just saying.
Seems all right in the stream.
Is it just that you've got the gate set too high and
Yeah, maybe.
you bring the gate down? Is it? I think yeah. Seems like you're gated, but it's cutting your words off. Just lift your gate up a bit.
Back on stream. No, it's Jack. It is me. Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll turn the gate down.
I think you need to turn. You need to turn it up, don't you?
I need to do it because I've got a horrible like old chair that makes a horrible speaking noise.
Oh, I don't care about that, man.
I need to buy a new chair. I need to buy a more comfortable chair. This chair is horrible. Phil's been a massive like support to you. I was just saying Phil number one, not passed away Phil.
Yeah, but I don't want to use either of their surnames. So when this happened, like I say, it was a struggle to get out of bed, or just so anxious and sick that stepping out of the front door was just so daunting. Even picking up the phone was impossible. And you, Jack, you were ringing me like every other day, and
Yeah.
I wasn't picking up. The most I could do was answer.
It was really horrible because like I know that like having a phone call was a bit of a trigger for you, because am I allowed to say about your symptoms?
It wasn't a trigger. It was just that I was so ill that I didn't have the energy to pick the phone up. So when it went off,
yeah,
I physically couldn't pick a phone up. This is how ill I got. Like it's hard to explain, but I just
wanted to like say, hey, I'm here. I'm thinking about you. If you do want to chat, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I miss you, and I'm slightly worried about you.
The most I could do was towards the end of the day, pick my phone up and send a couple of messages. That's the most I could do. And then what happened with Phil is I was messaging Phil just because Phil, we remember this. We joined this flying club at the end of last year, and that was really upsetting me that my illness wasn't allowing me to go there because it was like a waste. And Phil had been going to this flying club. Everybody really going to it a lot more because it's as soon as they lifted lockdown. Yeah, when lockdown got lifted, I carried on being ill, so I couldn't go to the flying field even when it was open. But yeah, it was locked down for a little bit, and as I say, couldn't go out the front of the house there. Phil would just like every time he went flying, just sent me a message saying, going up the field, how are you doing today? And be like, not today. I've probably done that for a good maybe month and a half to 2 months before I eventually went, yeah, I'll go today, because if it's not today, it'll be never. And it was a really tricky, but once I was there, I felt like a different person. It's like I hadn't left the house for like 3 months or whatever. And it started there, really. Just in realizing that, getting out once a week, even if it's just to chat to somebody, getting out of the house, very important. And then after a while, I was dragging him out. I did that for a good few weeks before I even considered turning a video camera on. And even now, when we go to the flying field, that's why it ended up as a vlog on the phone, because I was like, I'll record it on my phone. It'll be crappy and rubbish and loads of wind noise. But at the end, I had all this funny footage of me and Phil just messing around, and I was like, this would be fun to watch back. And because the footage is already there, it's just editing it together rather than it not, me not having to remember motor KV sizes or what amp the ESC is, or whether it's BL-HELI-S or BL-HELI 32, and all what the weight, all the specs. This is just out in the field watching Phil get zapped by an electric fence. And
I can't believe, like, it is. like I need Phil to realize like how funny he is.
Oh,
Like
he's hilarious. I
he
tried to tell
like
him.
like like I won't worry about your face or what you look like or like what you're up to. Like he is such a character. Like you need. It's a crime against humanity that he is not like featured on the blog. I would literally be like, Phil, you're wearing this rubber Halloween mask, and just put him in that and be like, this is you now. Because like even if you just took what Phil did and wore a little hand puppet, I'm gonna put on the sock, and like reenacted the things that the sock did. Like Phil did, I'm going to touch this electric fence every time and see, what I'm going to work my way up to 11. Like, look at those balls over there. Fucking, I don't know whether Phil sounds like that. I don't know what Phil sounds like.
Yeah, you do. You've met him. I think he's become such a character. He's become such a character in my videos. You forgot that you met him in person.
I know. He gave me wank tissues and sparklers, and believe it or not, as well, because they were like proper sparklers. You're meant to use them outside, and I've burnt a hole in my carpet, and because of him, the little bastard. I might need to. I need to take a photo of it. If I ever go to Weston ever again, I need to take a photo and be like, this is your fault. I'm not getting my security deposit back.
Clive saying, hearing this, I'm surprised that you replied to my Patreon message, and it means even more. Yeah, Clive, this was such a problem as well, because I was always against doing Patreon. Oh, sorry, Jack, am cutting you off?
No. Someone said wank tissues, and I said, yeah, because of the sock.
Yeah. I one of the worst things through all of this was Patreon. Because I was getting Patreon messages that I couldn't physically answer on the phone. Like even if I got to the message where it was asking a question about the quad, like it wasn't happening. And I said, yeah, I really should make an apology to my patrons. I didn't know what to do about that. But what's great about my patrons is they're not really a group of people that ask for anything, which I love. That they support me no matter what. I just do like to be able to give extra, and yeah, that's something I'm going to work to for sure. Because
give extra, lads.
The problem is as well as like this used to be like a full-time job for me. It never paid, like it just paid bit for bills, but now it's not even doing that. Partly because of the time that I had off, and it's just not recovered, or maybe it never will recover. And also the times that we live in as well. My revenue comes from a mixture of Patreon, comes from like Amazon affiliates, very little, and all the other affiliates, very little, and the money from YouTube, which stopped completely when I turned adverts off. So that was a bad idea. So yeah, money and financial situation is the thing I need to look at next, but I'm just not even worrying about that at the moment. So, sorry, Jack, I've taken over your stream.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh man, I just wanted you to be okay. That was all. And
yeah, it was I felt such a bad friend to you and everyone, because I had to stop doing Let's Drone Out. But there's physically nothing I could do. I'm not kidding. I lay there day and night, months, and then the medic
in my skin. I'm just crying.
No, man, it's
so
emotionless that you can't even cry. Like it's way past crying.
I know. I remember my old boss being like, like if when you're gonna kill yourself, like what music were you gonna play? And I was like, dude, I stopped listening to music or watching films ages and ages ago. You just kind of stop. I am very far away from there, the village of Byford or whatever. Byfield. I hear glory holes are sparse at the mo lol. Yeah, no glory holes for Andy RC. But yeah, you lose your sense of humor and everything, and it
Oh,
just
Jack kept saying,
yeah,
"I miss you," and I would just reply back, "I miss me as well. I wasn't me."
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
know. I remember the first time I called you, and you sounded a bit more like you, and I was like, "Hey."
the first time you called, I had to have a shower because I was dripping with like sweat.
He was in the shower. He was less wet than when he
You're
was
trying to
taking the
you're
shower.
trying to make it uplifting now. We can go there if you want. Start talking about feet.
Not cat's feet. Yeah,
No.
if anyone does want a picture of Andy's feet, if you buy something from my the next two people to buy something from my shop from Etsy will get a picture of Andy's feet to jerk off to.
With a broken toe. I do.
With a broken
You
toe.
do have that picture actually.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have given you that. It is
That's fine.
gross.
There's loads of pictures you've given me that you shouldn't have given me, and it's all a good time.
I could say the same for you though, Jack, couldn't I? Really? Let's have a think.
Well, yeah, you got a picture of my butt. uh,
Big easy FPV. Thank you. Yeah. It was so when I put that video. Do you know it was due from
was
you.
it cathartic? Did it help?
Well, do
Or
you know
did you just
what?
want to? Why did you do it?
What I made a video about it because you know there are people that yes and his fannies. What started happening is like people who've never experienced anxiety and like stress and depression before were getting it this year. Even my dad, he's never had it his whole life, and even he was like, "Oh, I can't. I think I'm getting like maybe 5% of what you're getting." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not very nice, is it?" And when Stu got it, I mean, it never surprises me when, like, for example, I remember when Robbie Williams came out, he's a UK singer, came out as agoraphobic, extremely anxiety prone, and couldn't leave the house for months. And I was like, really, that confident guy? And you never do know who's going through hell. And when
That guy was slaying pussy left and right. You're like, what? Really?
yeah,
You know,
yeah, you
like
can't.
he's got that story. Did you ever? I don't know whether it's true or not, but like he stayed at a hotel and the maid came in and gave him head relief, and he he went to check. He goes, "Oh, the maid's really nice," and they were like, "We haven't got a maid." So some girl like snuck in dressed as like a cleaner was like, "Yo, I'm here to clean your pipes." Like, I mean, he would wake up and get it. It would just be, like a breakfast tray would just be delivered to him. But it was just,
Yeah, but if you really want a shocker of a podcast, watch the True Geordie podcast. Amazing with Robbie Williams. You will be shocked at what Robbie Williams says. And I was like, wow. And so it was Stu from UAV Futures. I mean, good day, happiest guy in the world. And whether you love him or you don't like how enthusiastic he is, when he was like, when someone describes depression and anxiety or whatever, and you've got it, that someone's, oh man, they're really suffering, and I knew straight away. And it was really that caused me to, never having suffered from it before. I mean, if you look at what Stu's doing now, just live streams to keep his channel going because that's what he finds fun. And it's that with me, it's the vlogs, and it has slowly gotten me back into just loving flying. I'm really loving fixed wing at the moment. All the stuff that Phil's doing with the head tracking and stuff. Can't wait to get into more of that. So yeah, things are looking up, man.
will you ask Phil if he would have a conversation with me, because I've saved some Amazon cardboard down there. Don't know whether you can see it. You can just see.
Amazon cardboard.
Yeah, I want to build something out of Amazon cardboard. I've been saving
Yeah,
up some cardboard.
I'll ask him. I can't
Guarantee
I
it.
can't guarantee it.
I want to build a shit stick.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
Phil,
Andrew Newton's done the whole DJI fixed wing.
yeah,
Hello, Mr. Fruity Cakes.
we were contemplating, probably not the case, but we were wondering whether he saw what Phil had done, maybe, because Phil had been using a lot of Andrew Newton's videos to do the head tracking stuff, and yeah, so maybe Amazon Prime, Jaron. No, I already got a copyright strike for that. I can't do that.
No. I might get Andrew Newton to like record a special message for Phil. Maybe, I don't know. It was really nice seeing him make the little cat thing. It was I think the best thing was like, I think what I struggled with was because I'm from like, I originally was from Essex and stuff, so like, and then I lived in South Wales, and then I'm from a place called Bridgend, which is like apparently the most depressing place in the world, and there I had like a lot of friends, and you know, I'd done art, and I was like an art student for years, and then I moved to Brighton to do fine art painting, and Mr. Fruity, I've got a special place in my heart. Fruity, Clive, the Twitch family, man. I've got like all the time in the world for you guys. Anyone who tunes in and watches me on Twitch, except when you little bugger, telling Bexy I fancy her. Your little, I'm gonna kill you. I still got to get revenge for that.
You do though.
Oh, she's lovely. Have you? But
I still think I haven't gotten you back enough for all the things you've done, Jack.
oh, I know on the
all
like, I can't.
Up
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's sake! No, she's not watching. I'm afraid, Jack.
Do you mean an ugly stick? Yes, I do mean an ugly stick. That is right. But I came over here and then done, you know, the fine art painting and that, and I stayed in Brighton because obviously I didn't want to go back to Wales, and of course all my uni buddies who I was friends with, they all just left. They went back home, and I was alone in Brighton, and that's when, you know, you like, not to like, I had a chat with Schizo FPV and about it and stuff, and he goes like, there's a certain like, you know, there's a certain like level of intelligence where with like mental health, you kind of know that like nothing's and anxiety, it sort of makes you realize that nothing's guaranteed. Like you're like 15 minutes away from burning your house down, losing your keys, you know, mind that bus, what bus, splat, you know, and it's just disaster in that, and like, you know, all your friends moving away, and like you just being like, 1 minute my good friend Phil was there, and the next minute he's not, and that sort of you've got the unique perspective that most people don't. You know, you know that you go, shit, it's not, you know, like happiness is very fleeting, and you know, like your situation can go very, very wrong very, very quickly, and the most important thing in your life is your health, even above family, wealth, anything. And if you haven't got it, everything just gets that much more difficult.
Yeah, that you got it. You got it there for sure. Yeah, I mean, you're in denial. I mean, I was in denial. I mean, if you know, looking back at my videos, if you look at the videos from March, I was really struggling. It went from 2-3 videos a week down to 2, down to 1. I can do 1 video a week, but all of that time I was struggling, and it got to a point where my videos weren't making sense to myself. When I watched them back, I was like, this is just a crap video. I just didn't want to put it out. And I was like, okay, so financially, this would ruin me, but I'm afraid I've got to stop because it's just none of it's making sense. So, yeah, if you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything, man, regardless.
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith said it best, was if you haven't got anal health, particularly, you haven't got shit. And I have got fuck all.
I think the mistake that I made this time is I never thought it would happen doing something that I love, you know. I always thought, I worked a very stressful job before investment banking. It's insane. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street. People think, oh, that's just an exaggerated movie. No, it is a little bit like that. And incredibly stressful. Very rarely anybody over the age of 30 survives doing it, and that was my problem. I was getting to that age, and I never thought that flying drones and all that would happen again. But it turns out that you should not ignore the signs, because I had been doing for a long time. Since January, I'd have been ignoring the signs, thinking this can't be the same thing as what I had before, and it ended up being worse. So,
flying. How do you say that? Chopin. Don't be sorry for that joke. That was a very intelligent joke.
What's that?
He goes, I'm that chocolate. I think Fruity Cake goes, life is like a box of chocolates. And then flying, how do I say that? Chopin, is that right? Choripan? I don't know. He goes, I'm that chocolate that's given to the dog. And he goes, chocolate, and Fruity Cake goes, chocolate is poisonous to dogs, eek. He goes, I know that, I was joking.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, it was quite, he's probably the chocolate the dog's eaten, the dog's been induced to be sick, and he's all over the floor.
Yeah,
I think that's how I read it anyway. Yeah, I thought that was amusing. That's why it's very difficult. I'm that last piece that's melted to the box. I know I'm the Malteser you think's a Malteser you dropped on the sofa, but actually it's a perfectly round cat shit. That's what I am.
I miss Andy.
Choripan. Choripan. Thank you.
Choripan. He says he misses me making music. Yeah, that was something else that would have been an indicator that I wasn't getting very well, and that I never picked the guitar up or played music anymore, and I should have realized, because I love doing that, and I've done that more now. It's like it's always a pain to put it on YouTube. First of all, for the copyright, but second of all, there are just people that you get to a certain level of followers, and then the followers, because they're not used to hearing
dictate what you do.
Music, yeah, they sort of believe they own a good chunk of your channel. So that if you put something on there that's non-related, and like, what the hell is this? It's kind of like when Road to Riot did their cooking episode. I mean, it's completely up to them what they put on their channel, but people talk about it still to this day. And I think the same with Steele. Steele, incredible musician. I'd love to hear him do music once a week. But
and Schizo, he plays piano.
Schizo on the piano. See, yeah, you did. I was going to say, yeah, Schizo never mentioned the piano, but incredible pianist. And if it wasn't for pianist.
It's so easy to fucking. I love Andy.
Yeah, I
love how wrong you are, Andy. You're like, I say the thickest thing to you, and you're like.
We have got that kind of humor, which unfortunately, if you said in public, would get you cancelled. I think cancel culture.
I know, big time. I'm sorry, I'm that person. I don't mean it. I don't actually share those views. I just like being offensive and inappropriate. I'm very, very sorry. I'll have you I'll be honest with you. At least I'm honest about it. I know I'm the most evil person in the world, but I love you all. And I'm very sorry. One day you'll realize, oh, he's that person.
Jack, you just have to say you live in Brighton, and no one will question anything.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not actually homophobic. I just love annoying Tony.
It's just too hilarious.
I know, that's it. Tony, if you think you should be scared of gay people, I'm friends with you. You should be way scared. It's way more scarier.
Shrooms are good for depression. Never tried shrooms.
I know. I've tried them. All it made me realize was that definition and space do not think. Drone Racer, another big Clive family. That I tell you what's been really helping me. Like late at night, I get a load of brain chatter and I think about stuff too much. And I live for the weekend big Clive streams.
Yeah.
And Drone Racer's one of them, and also Break a Leg FPV. You and Drone Racer, your electronics family. And I think Zero, the best mod, Numbskull, really good mod. But I know I haven't been myself for a very long time because I haven't drawn anything. I've got this unfinished drawing. It's a massive block. And I find that when I sit there to try and focus to draw, I've got all this like shit in my head being like, you're the worst person ever. And you should
I've never
probably...
seen your drawings, Jack, I don't think.
You haven't seen my drawings?
I don't think ever. No, you'll have to show me some.
I've got a drawing there that I need to finish, and it's very, very difficult. But yeah, it's man, it's a girl in the Brighton train station, and yeah, I should really finish it. A pen drawing.
You should do more music videos, Andy. Seems like you really enjoy music as an outlet. Yeah, I've actually just recorded it. I've just got, and also I have loud music day at least once a week. I've just got Spotify. My thing with music, right? Listening to other people's music is I used to listen to it in the car, and never in the car, and also my CD player because it's that old of a car. It doesn't work. But I've just gotten Spotify now on my phone and computer. I've just discovered it. I don't like the adverts, but yeah, I've started doing that, and yeah, it really gets you in a good mood. The type of music that you like. So yeah, I've had Parkinson's with dyslexia for the past 12 years. Getting that's another thing I struggle with as well. Yeah, is because I've got anxiety. My hands shake incredibly. A lot of people say, "Oh, lay off the coffee, Andy," but it's usually a mixture of the meds that I'm on and anxiety, and that was like became a thing for a while. But now I'm just like, I've got shaky hands. You're just gonna have to put up with it, and if you don't like it, don't subscribe. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Oh wow, look at that. Is that ink then, is it, Jack? 'Cause that looks like ink to me. Yeah, he's nodding. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm getting back into music. Yeah, really liking that. I like to edit videos from the 80s.
Yeah, it's a rotoring pen. Sorry about the white paper. I like drawing on film. You can't use paper because the nibs are so fine. The paper particles get up into the nib and don't work. And I like the sort of grey. That's why it's on the grey card. I've got you know, the dyslexia thing. You know, they do the coloured films. I like the blue and grey kind of dull colour. That's why you see that sort of weird. See the weird tinge on my sort of thing. Yeah, I visually see better through. Yeah, I've also got it on my sunglasses. It's a blue grey tinge. And
that look great, man. That look great.
I see better like that. So
very impressive.
Yeah,
a bit of a dark horse there, Jack. I mean, I always knew you're artistic. Oh, sorry, that's autistic.
Crawling.
I had to make it a bit funny, didn't I?
I know. Well, you better talk about that. We done the autistic test because there's been a special person in your life who made you do that. Is that right?
Not made me, no, just made me aware of it. And I thought, oh, Jack's definitely autistic. Let's give it big
time. And it turns out I'm slightly less autistic than you.
Yeah, so we've got
There's definitely something wrong with me. Definitely, I don't know.
Although I've been informed recently. I was asked, did he answer the questions, answering them as he thought they should be answered, or as he actually would answer them?
No, I actually, as I would answer them. I'm not.
You did. It must be something else, Jack. It must be something else. I'm just kidding, man. He's just funny.
Asperger's or something. I don't know. There's
definitely that is autism. Asperger's, not burgers.
I don't know though, because I think the other thing is like I'm way too social as well, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean that's the opposite of me because I'm not social at all. It's social anxiety that I have. So like in that sense, you're the complete opposite of me because you will literally go up and talk to anybody and not even bat an eyelid. Whereas me, I've spent my whole life hiding from people so I end up doing FPV really.
Absolutely. There was this group of people that were like, oh my God, you literally have no approach anxiety. And I was like, no, well, no, it's like you can legally talk to anyone. I don't, you know, I want to be friends with everyone, which is probably really unhealthy. But
Yeah,
you know,
they are saying like OCD, ADHD, ADD. It is sort of part of the spectrum now. They are sort of recognizing that, aren't they? So maybe what?
Very interesting, numbskull. It's
Yeah,
got Asperger's and bipolar.
it does for a lot
Yeah,
of people, man. It does for a lot of people. I love it.
yeah.
It's great.
Because, like, in a way, I remember, like, this is like I've been talking to Win a lot, and he's been like really sort of like helping me as well. Like chatting to Win, and I need to do podcast with Win and Lurgy. Also, Lurgy said that if he messaged you, you wouldn't message back because he's a low life and stuff like that. Will you become friends with Lurgy?
That's awesome because when we were doing all of this head tracking stuff, Phil kept on about Lurgy, and he's like, "We need to talk to Lurgy." Yeah, absolutely, Lurg. Come on, man. We've
Yeah,
hung
like you
out.
fucking know who Lurgy is.
Of course,
Hello.
we hung out. We hung out. We're like at Milton Keynes and at Mini Ash. Of course, we know who Lurgy is, man.
I just love hearing his Norfolk accent. It reminds me of like the good old days.
Lurgy's a legend, man.
I know. Hello from Siberia. Hello, Mark. Thanks for tuning in. I have no approach anxiety, but I do make a fool out myself trying to be funny. Yeah, maybe.
Got a new friend there, Jack.
Yeah, maybe me and flying. Is it Choripan? Choripan? I've got like me and you are gonna be like, yo, oh, tornado girl.
She's one of my favorite pilots. You know, we're talking about earlier.
I love. She's a right little firecracker. I love Tornado Girl.
Yeah.
Sweetie.
Yeah, I like watching her flying. There's like very few people I tune in. Oh, Lurg is here. Just change the
Lurgy provides the smoke effects at mini air show. It's more Gav really. If we're gonna,
you should get Gav on as well. Yeah. It's like you got all these people that you know.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Flying Choripan. I've got a buddy out in Toronto, Canada. That's my friend Cole. I've been friends with him for about 11 years now, and I've been out to see him. He's come over and seen him. I have one international friend, but I think that what really helped me was like going from like friends at uni to like 0 friends and everyone leaving. Jack has an uncanny ability to lull anyone into a false sense of security before springing something offensive that they have no opinion on.
No option but to burst out laughing.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, you lured me onto the show somehow. You know, brought me out.
Yeah, I know. I was just like the other thing as well is like Aries as well. I would like love to poach him if Droney's life doesn't work out. I might nab him. I was chatting to Bardwell about him, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
0, the best mod. I remember when we first started doing Let's Drone Out, he was like the guy just like plying us with news and information and correcting us and stuff, man. Like Let's Drone Out, like we got an unsung hero, like 0 FPV, man. Fucking, you know, he's good, like. Spider, you've always been around, buddy. You're probably really close on the mods list, to be fair. If we get any more mods drop out, man, we're probably gonna have to stick you in. Let me know, guys, from the guys from the States as well, if you got any good mental health hotline, because I'm unsure. If you do, put the links in the description and in the comments, and I'll add it to the chats. But yeah, FPV kind of gave me those friends back that I lost, and I'm always grateful for you guys.
It did to me as well. I mean, yeah, that's kind of I'd sort of lost all my friends as well, and so it was great, painless introducing me to you guys. It's just the thing that makes me upset now is we used to meet up a lot more than we can these days. I mean, there was always some sort of meet happening, and now there's just no plans, you know. Like we were lucky to meet up in Milton Keynes. That was the last time, January. It's like, how many months away was that? You know, 10 months ago that we met up. it's important to get rid of the stigma and stop blaming the person. Yeah, that's the biggest problem, isn't it, Tornado Girl? Because yeah, other people that have never suffered from it or never had it just think that you're making it up. They want to tell you to get a grip. Get a grip. You need to get a grip. I'm like, what? Get a grip? I'm not in control of this. You wouldn't tell someone with, like, you know, cancer who it's out of their control with to, oh, get better when you can.
Yeah, I know, mate. I've got that all the time. You know, due to the like, it's a fucking hidden like disability. It doesn't switch off, and you don't have control. There's nothing you can like, you know, there's nothing you can like, you know, like almost do about it as yourself. It is like the only way I describe it is like I remember back in like 2013 or what 12, 13. I was in like this eternal darkness. It was dark when I went to sleep. I'd sleep so much and at the wrong time that I'd wake up and it was dark. And I live in constant fear that one day that will happen to me again. And I remember just taking one day at a time and just watching this girl, Lamadia, like Hannah, and I was watching her playthrough of Alan Wake, and that was the only way I knew it was a different day. And like, you know, it was the whole like totally mental pissing in Lucasade bottles and fucking and like, you know, like not eating for days and then having like to like order takeaway to be delivered and not being able to go out and like not speaking to anyone and like, you know, and like making plans to just like, you know, check out basically. And like one day I will cover it. It's like pretty fucked up. And but like it's scary, like that your mind can almost turn against you. Like it's unbelievable how fragile it is, like that balance of, you know, like being okay and then not being okay.
Yeah, it's the loss of control, basically, but the control of your mind. I liken it to, you know, people go on roller coasters for like a thrill because they're out of control for a brief second, but you wouldn't want to be sat on a roller coaster for 4 months. And that's kind of what it's like having anxiety. You're completely not in control, so everything else is in control, and your stomach is just feels like you're upside down or going over a hump, just constantly. It's not very nice. What have we got here? Andy, your tune for the GTR 349 is legendary. Is it still valid today with later versions of Beat Flight? No, it's not. In fact, I get asked that so many times. I'm just tempted to just take it one day and spend a day with it and try and get it to work with the latest versions of Betaflight. I'm not sure it is, because the latest versions of Betaflight now are more like aimed towards freestyle and heavier, slower quads. The problem with the 349 is it accelerates so fast that they just never design. They just never designed Betaflight for a quad. It's a 0 to 125 mile an hour in like a second, and for whatever reason at Betaflight 4 they were like, this isn't mainstream anymore, I guess, or they just never built it for that kind of speed, because in reality most 5-inch 3-inch quads, the top speed 70 mile per hour, that's all you really need. You don't need 125 mile per hour. So these crazy models like the 349 that they made, you put that tune on anything over Betaflight 4, it just goes nope, it just shakes itself to death. So I'm so tempted to just come up with like maybe a medium tune that maybe will work for it, just for people like yourself. That I get asked that at least once a week, so I probably should try and do something about it. But no, just the older versions of Betaflight. Sorry, Jack, interrupted you there.
No, I'm thing. Is there anything else you want to cover? Because we're at the hour mark.
I don't think so, man.
Do you want to end on a happier note?
Yeah,
I mean, tell them about the strange men that message you about Betaflight, and they don't even own a quad, and they're very fond of you, aren't they, Andy?
Yeah, I feel. You know what? Like, I was talking to Jack before this. I didn't know whether talking about this would, in itself, cause anxiety and
I was really worried.
I felt really relaxed because I mean, I'm always relaxed when talking to Jack, and also like, you know, getting a time for me to come on here. I can never guarantee things like that too. So yeah, I'm happy to. And we can talk about. I think it's just funny what you know, because we've had FPV girls in the hobby come on here and just talk at the amount of obscene pictures that they get sent, and must be because
Andy
of
gets them too.
the way that I look. I've had them at least 4 times, so I can only imagine how many the girls get. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but we won't go into any more than that.
You know, I'm not all the way straight. You know, if I was all the way gay, I'd probably be really into Andy RC. Thank you, and Andrew Himes. Andrew Sachrang.
He is just
fucking what a legend. He's like
Tornado Girl wants some. Well, I tell you, I'll point them to you next time. Tornado Girl. It's Mary, isn't it? Yeah. Tornado Girl's name. So I'll point them.
You just stopped her.
I'll send them your way, Tornado Girl. If
man.
They're not pretty. They are.
Some of them are really. I mean, they've got something to show.
I mean,
I was really quite impressed with one or two of them.
And one of them was, you know, a plug for every train set, and one particular one is like human centipede. You know, male human centipede.
Yeah, the love train. Choo choo. I don't understand that. No, it's just I didn't want to exhaust. It's very difficult to talk about this sort of stuff.
I feel really relaxed actually, so I'm surprised. There was a time when I couldn't talk about this at all, and it made me feel nauseous just talking about it. But I'm so relaxed, so it's up to you, man. If you want to.
No, it's fine. Because also, like, I don't know about you in therapy. Like, I remember going to therapy, and it was like I was a dog being, you know, taken to the vet to be put down. Perfectly good, you know. And it was like the hardest thing to do, but I knew I had to do it because there was like a will to get better. But also, I know that after therapy, I'd come home and I'd sleep loads. And you kind of feel worse before you feel better. And like during therapy, it's fine. And like, you know, it's like, I'm hoping it's quite cathartic, but I'm worried that after this, you might not feel so great, you know, and being like,
I think I'll be okay because it's getting better all the time. So yeah, I'm not.
The steps that you've made is
I don't think therapy was very
proud of you.
I don't think therapy was very helpful, maybe because I think it was helpful at first, but then it was over the phone, and it was basically, here, read 100 pages about sleep hygiene, and it's like, Christ, fill in this diary, and then all of a sudden, an hour every night was taken up by therapy to the point where I was like, I'm so glad I'm not doing this anymore, because it was like homework, you know?
Yeah.
And some days I'd be like ready to make a video, and I'm like, oh no, you've got therapy today, you've got to fill in all of that stuff. And so eventually it was like, yeah, I'm sure sometimes therapy is just to get you fed up of therapy so you like can get on with your life, kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing great. I feel better. I don't want to do this anymore. Anything actually be depressed is like way better. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I don't think so. It's a difficult journey that you need to go and like have one person, you know, build that rapport and stuff. And, you know, it's a journey, and you know it can come back, and like, you know, like Ruby Wax says, like the dog's always, the black dog's always in the corner and stuff. And, you know, and you know, we're all there for each other. And as much as I mock and horrible to Tony is genuinely my friend, and we phone up and talk about different stuff. And
Tony's great. In fact, it's Friday, so I'm expecting his "I love you" message. Have I got it here?
Yeah, he gets drunk and tells everyone he.
Not yet.
Yeah. So always like my only piece of advice. I'm not a trained professional or anything, but like if you need help, get help, and it's okay to like not be okay.
Go to the
And,
doctors, man. Go to and get a good doctor if you've got a crap doctor. Because I had a crap doctor that would refuse any medication, and at a time like this, it was like I couldn't see a doctor. I was lucky that I had a decent doctor that would prescribe me something over the phone, which was what they call SR. I always want to say RSSI uptake.
Yeah, so
uptake
blocking.
SRSI or something like that. Yeah. I got on one of those, which helped the last time. And if you don't have a decent doctor, I switched doctors. My doctor was like, "Nah, it's not good. It's only going to help you in the short term." And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to be helped in the short term." Like everything is crap. So get a good doctor and then go to the doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, rely. It's really important. SSRI. That's it.
Serotonin. Serotonin something reuptake inhibitors, is it? Something like that.
Yeah, therapy only goes so far. We get to a point where we know all of it. I find myself telling myself to change my attitude. Life is 98% attitude. I love all of you. Oh, thank you, big guys. Why?
I think for me, just the little things that I know I said this in my video, but the little things of joy that I had in my life were completely taken away. So the once a week at the indoor flying club was
the Chinese afterwards. I was happy to see that in the vlog. I was like, yes, because Andy talks to me via his phone, and everyone can hear me in the phone. So like I like saying really inappropriate stuff in the car. I'm sorry.
So that got taken away, and of course. I stopped doing LDO, which I had to. I had no choice, but that's also a source of, sometimes is a source of joy as well. And the big thing, and I nearly left this in the video that I made, but it sounded so stupid. I've been starving myself of decent food for a good time because I wanted to be as thin as I was when I was, 25, and it's just not. It's just not achievable unless you just eat celery every day. And so one of the first things I did is this quick thing that you can do is just eat nice food. Because like Jack was saying, I had a takeaway, used to have takeaways. Those had to stop in lockdown. So it was like, right, buy stuff from Tesco, buy nice food, buy burgers, buy hot dogs, all the stuff I wasn't allowing myself to have. That did wonders to my mood because I'd lost like 2 stone because I had not even the will to eat, kind of thing. And so when you've got something to look forward to, it's like you wake up, oh, hot dogs, like that was the thing. I was like, yeah, oh, pizza, kind of thing. And that was the first thing that started getting me on track, was eating regularly, for sure. But anyways,
it's just very, like, having that routine and like having something to look forward to and stuff, like really like checking in with my mate Brad really sort of like helps. And then like have Andrew / Frank, like he's done a lot of like organizing my life and like breaks things down for me, and that really takes a lot of my anxieties away. So there's a lot of my friends like help in my life, but if you need help, diet is everything. You are what you eat, Jack. I know.
Yeah.
I stopped going to the doctor. I only wanted to solve it with medicine. Try, like Andy said, maybe try a new doctor.
Yeah, that I had to get rid of my doctor. I tell you, when you've got a bad doctor, when you can get an appointment within like 10 minutes, and you think, no, it's great, I can get an appointment with my doctor in 10 minutes. No, it's because your doctor's crap. He doesn't have any patience, so you can get you can get him in 10 minutes. That was a thing that took me a while to realize. My doctor, right? You think, I ring up, I get an appointment, and it's in 3 days' time. I could be better in 3 days' time. No, it's because he's that good. He's got a huge number of people who are after him. If you can get your doctor easy, be careful about that. I would say.
Might not necessarily be true. There might be an open slot. Don't listen to.
No, I've done this too many times, man. I'm willing to put my life on that one.
Oh my God. Don't listen to him. dangerous. Guys, Tony is here, my lovely wife. Right. Andy RC, one of my most precious friends who I hold dearly, who's a massive wrong and I love him. And I'm so glad you're getting better. I'm really proud of you and the steps that you've made. Like I love you, man. I'm glad you're still here, and I hope you get even better. And I'm loving the vlog. Phil, get on the vlogs.
No, I think I like how Phil's not on the vlogs, you know. I like it because I didn't show my face for years, and people are like, oh, I wonder what it looks like, you know. Even now I don't show my face for a while. People are like, oh, you know, I thought you were a young kid or whatever, you know. I sound quite young. But yeah, I'd like to get Phil on there, but I would never. He's in the videos accidentally. It's just because he's there when I'm there, kind of thing, you know.
Yep. Free cakes. Maybe you could live here for a bit. But no worries. Thank you guys. If you're affected, Frank's provided a load of links and stuff and texts. How old are you, Andy?
38.
Yeah.
38.
So yeah, if you're affected, get help. We support you. It's okay. Andy sounded like a teenager. And thanks, guys. I really support you and the fact that you guys tune in and watch this stuff. I've got a good guest next week. I've got the problem child out the way, which is you, Andy, and now we can talk to someone who was
talk to a grown up.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're all okay. If you're not okay, get some help. You've been listening to my friend Andy RC's story. If you're a fan of Andy RC, I'm doing a limited edition sticker run. My stickers have Andy RC was here. I will send the file to Andy RC where it will just be the dog poo bin, but you can buy stickers from my Etsy. The link is on my channel. I've got loads of stickers. I've got the cat and the wing and stuff. I need 2 more orders, and then I've made it to 30.
Wow, that's
so
good.
yeah. So like, yeah, if you can buy a few stickers, it would really help me out. Appreciate it. It was dumb to make so many stickers. There is a discount code as well. Is Andy RC is a slut. You'll get 10% off. Thank you guys. Everything in moderation, especially moderation. Thank you and good night.
Especially wanking.
Yeah.